right? Like, everybody knows that games aren't serious and whatever, right? But video games at least used to be about maximizing what the machine could do and like really impressing the people playing the game. And maximizing the machine means you have to understand the machine very well, and that correlates with robust software, because if you understand the machine well, you're less likely to make the kind of bugs that come from misunderstanding. There's anti-correlations with robust software too. But anyway, now we're not really about that so much. Especially talking about independent developers, people are shifting to Unity and Unreal en masse, right? Not very many people write their own engines anymore. So we have entire generations of programmers who have grown up learning to program by, making little C# snippets that just plug into other parts of Unity or something, and they've never written something systemic, and they've never written something low level. Which on the one hand is fine. Like, I'm not saying we shouldn't do that, because there's a degree to which it's smart. It reduces development time, right? It helps you ship your game sooner. But, like I said before, there's a flip side. That flip side is giving up the capability of doing the other thing, giving up the knowledge of how to do the other thing. So I don't think it's bad in isolation if a lot of people make games where they just put snippets into Unity, right? But if everybody does that, then nobody knows how to do anything but that. And then after a while, what's going to happen? Because we're assuming that we'll just be able to use these engines forever. But Unity and Unreal were created in an environment where there were lots of people at games companies making engines all the time, right? And that's where they hired people from. And when there's no longer a natural way to learn how to make engines because nobody does it, where are Unity and Unreal going to hire employees from to maintain those engines that everybody's using, right? And, to the extent that they can hire people, is the quality of people going to go down because they have less experience? It just takes a long time to ramp up, right? So then maybe at some point, well, certainly at some point, there's not enough people to make a new competing engine. But maybe even at some point, you can't really maintain the old ones, and they just keep decaying over time. That can happen. And so the way I used to think about game developers is kind of like the Foundation in the Asimov books, where we kind of knew how to really program computers. And also some other kinds of programmers, like embedded systems people and high-performance computing people, all sort of knew what was going on with computers. And after the rest of software just kind of decays and falls apart, we still have the knowledge, and we could bring it back and give it to people. But I'm not really sure that that's going to happen now, because I just don't know. I mean, I don't know if there will be enough of us doing low-level work, or even people doing high-level work who understand what's happening at the low level while they do the high level, right? So maybe there needs to be a second Foundation. Spoiler alert for anyone who hasn't read the book. So back in the Bronze Age, right, one of the reasons those civilizations disappeared is that the way things were set up was that reading and writing was only done by a small elite class who went to school for years, and this was protected. The public couldn't know how to do this. They probably mostly didn't want to know. And because those skills weren't widespread, they were fragile, so when the society was disrupted, they weren't continued because not enough people could carry it forward. Today, almost nobody knows what's happening on a CPU, right? That skill is not widespread.